She's probably trying to get off of her other one.
Okay. All right, welcome to our Meet the Team event. We are so excited to have you here tonight. The way this is going to work, a few of us that are coaches on our team are going to share a little bit about our stories, why we said yes to the coaching opportunity. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to mute lines. There we go. We're going to share a little bit about the coaching opportunity with you, various aspects of how it has impacted us personally, because it's really why people join. It's different for everyone. But you're going to get a really good overall feel of what this opportunity is all about and how it might be something that could really serve your life. And since it's helpful to hear personal stories and get to know us and our team a little bit better, we are a very tight-knit top team. We have a very close sisterhood. We're all very good friends. We come from very different backgrounds, walks of life, career choices, but we all really, came into this opportunity for some reason of wanting to improve ourselves, improve our health, improve our mindset, and improve the opportunity that we really were able to provide for our families with this opportunity. So we're super excited to have you here tonight. And if you do have questions as we go through over anything that we cover, at the end of the call, we'll open it up for a Q&A. So you can feel free to either post your question in the comments as we go along and we'll go back through them. Or if you're comfortable, you can unmute at the end of the call and ask your question. We will personally address that for you. So if you have specific fears or misconceptions, or like we said, anything that we go over you want to know more about, we'll be happy to share that with you. So I am going to screen share because we have a fun little presentation, since it's really awesome to be able to not just hear about the opportunity, but see a visual of what it has done for our lives. So you will get to see our personal transformations along with what this business has done for us. So can somebody, let me see. I can't really see when I have this open. Can somebody give me a thumbs up if you can see this? Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna close this out so that I can see the screen. I am Dana. I have been a coach for 6.5 years now. I was brought into this business by a friend of mine who was a field hockey teammate in high school, actually. And at the time, I was a newly single mom. I was 6 months out of leaving a very abusive relationship to raise my son alone. I had just moved across country. I had dropped out of my last year of college when I had my son. And it was a really rock bottom time in my life. I was just at rock bottom in terms of my confidence level, in terms of my health. In my teen years, I had a very severe near-death boating accident. So I've had 12 hip surgeries. I've had a lot of health issues from the time I was a teenager. But I had always been very active and into fitness and sports. And I really missed that part of my life. I missed the fitness aspect, and I missed the self-confidence and the discipline that came with that lifestyle. And I also really missed having a team. So when my coach invited me to this opportunity, I really said yes to it because I knew that as a single parent, if I didn't want to, survive on coffee and granola bars because I was completely exhausted, I was anxiety ridden, I really didn't know how I was going to ever provide the life that I really desired for us. I said yes to this journey because I knew I needed to work on myself mentally, physically, emotionally, and within a couple days of committing to my journey, she got me on a call, very much so like you're on tonight, that shared about the potential of the coaching opportunity. And it was like the biggest blessing had ever been placed in my path, of something that could totally change the trajectory of our life. And so I went all in from day one. My goal was to be full-time, to be home and present for my son, to be able to financially provide. And this business has given me so much more than that. It's given me the opportunity to become the person I feel like I was really meant to become. I have learned so many new tools and skills in terms of mindset and confidence and character development. I've gotten in the best physical shape of my life. I've gained some of the best friends, and I've had so much travel opportunity and the experience to go to so many incredible seminars and leadership conventions. And like I said, nothing that I had ever thought of that could be the future for my life, but something that I am extremely grateful for, because I don't know who I would be or where we would be without this opportunity. So I would just say, as you listen to the stories you hear tonight, keep an open mind, because, you know, when I started this business, I feared judgment, I feared failure, but what I feared more was what happened if I said no. And I didn't have the courage to step out of my comfort zone and pursue something better for our life. And taking that risk was the best risk I ever took. So I'm going to pass it along. And you'll see some other photos on here tonight of other coaches on our team. But we're going to stop at the ones that are speaking tonight. Is Mary Page on with us? I don't think I saw her hop on. No. Okay. Ashley's not. There you are, Kelly.
All right, my turn. All right, guys. My name is Kelly Riley, and I have, first off, I'm actually from just north of Boston in Massachusetts. I have 2 kids, 9 and 12. And I'm a registered nurse, you know, by trade. I'm a registered nurse and a diabetes educator. And I've actually had type 1 diabetes for 28 years and celiac disease and just a lot of stuff. But I ended up starting these programs purely for selfish purposes. I had zero intention of coaching, and actually wanted nothing to do with coaching for a really, really long time. I just wanted to feel better about myself. I kind of hit that point in my life where I was a mom, I was a provider for all my patients, and then I just put myself on the back burner, and I was starting to just feel it. I wasn't doing, you know, normal activities with my kids. I was the kind of couch potato. I just felt exhausted all the time, and I just didn't have any energy to do anything that was worthwhile to kind of help my own health. And especially living with diabetes, I knew the risk factors in front of me if I didn't just buck up and listen to my own advice. But that was the piece of it that was hard, as I wanted to not have my nursing hat on when I was trying to figure out what to do for me. I just wanted to be kind of the patient and the person that just was told what to do to get the results that I wanted. And so I actually saw one of my coach, who I danced with growing up with in Vermont, and she was a nurse out in Colorado, and she posted these amazing pictures, and she, more than anything, she just looked really happy and just looked full of life. And I think I would watch her, and I would kind of Facebook stalk her for a little bit, because I was super nervous once again. And I finally decided one night, I remember I was in bed at 10 o'clock at one night, and I said, I'm going to do it. I walked out to my husband, and he said, let's do it together. And it's now been like 5.5 years. I didn't start coaching until probably, honestly, like 1.5 years later. And that, when it comes to like the fears and misconceptions, I think what really held me back was I was really nervous to share on social media. For those of you that know me now, know I'm like complete verbal diarrhea all the time now on social media. So it's like drop of a hat, I don't care. Like people, I'm confident in what I do in these programs and, you know, my life, that I'm fine with sharing that. But I was not that way initially, like completely scared out of my gourd. So I think it made me not want to coach, knowing that I probably needed to share. And it was one of those things that I just kind of like had to rip off the Band-Aid. I knew what I believed in worked because I felt it. And I knew the people around me that were having the results. It was just a matter of me sharing that so other people could basically have this opportunity that I was given by seeing my coach post the same thing. So I started sharing, and I realized there's a lot of really great people out there and more positive people than not. And it kind of grew from there. Obviously, I have gained a ton in regards to this opportunity, not only health-wise. I've been able to lower weight significantly. I'm really short. You can't tell here, but I'm super short. And so for me to lose like over 20 pounds was huge for me, and to keep it off this period of time. So weight loss was a huge thing. My confidence is completely different. My husband will say the same. I definitely am a very different mom and a different wife because of how I feel about myself now. And then the other bonus is that I, as a nurse, one of the things I found is I was missing a lot in general with my kids, and my husband was traveling a lot for work pre-COVID, and I was missing a lot with them. And so I kind of wanted to get to the point where I could be around for them more, like pickups and drop-offs and activities. So with this, thankfully, I've been able to reduce my nursing hours because of the financial support. And I will say one thing, guys, during this whole craziness of pandemic is I actually lost my job for a period of time because our clinic shut down. We didn't have the option of telehealth at that point. And we decided to move pre this all happened. So we were left in a really situation of, holy crap, we're moving into a house that was definitely more in our means of like a stretch. And I lost my job, and now we're dealing with homeschooling of kids. And I am forever thankful that I said yes to coaching so many years ago, because yes, it was a scary moment, but I had the income coming in from Beachbody, from doing something I already love and helping other people other than in my nursing office, that was able to help pay for the new things for our house and closing costs and all these things that I would have literally been like up a creek otherwise. So as you'll hear a little bit later too, I've also been able to have the gift of travel for my family, taking my whole family on cruise ships for Beachbody. We're supposed to go to Mexico in April. Come on, COVID, like all these things. And my kids now look forward to knowing that mommy gets to give them this trip every year. And it also feels really nice to be able to give this to my husband and my family. And I'm just forever thankful to these women who you're only seeing a fraction of them on here tonight, because they definitely have been a positive source throughout all of this and just my overall journey. So, got it?
Oh, okay. I guess that's me then. Hi, guys. I am Stephanie. I've been coaching for about 5.5 years now. So you're going to hear stories from a bunch of the different amazing women on this team. And a lot of women are going to talk about having like a back against the wall situation, or like this big vision for the business that they want to build. And I am going to be the outlier here, and I'm going to say that I had neither. So I started about 5.5 years ago. Time lapse. My son was about 15 months old, and I started, like Kelly, selfish reasons. I needed to get my shit together. I needed to lose baby weight. I needed to feel good about myself. I was back at work. I was working full time. I'm a school psychologist. I was also teaching 2 evening classes at the local college. So I was trying to balance new mom life and a super crazy schedule. And this gave me the way to lose the weight, feel good, and not lose time with my son. My biggest thing was I didn't want him to be in daycare all day for me to pick him up and then drop him off at the daycare in the gym so that I could go work out. I felt that was selfish for me, and I wasn't comfortable with that. So this just was convenient. It worked with my schedule. And, I guess being a psychologist by trade, I'm always looking to help people. And just part of being in the group with everybody, I was always, cheering them on and supporting them. And my coach, Dana, decided to, approach me with the opportunity. So this is kind of where I fall different from everybody else, because I could still remember Dana being like, well, don't you have big dreams? Don't you want to stay home with your kids? And I was like, no, I don't. That's something that I never really looked to do. I will say it. I busted my ass for 8 years, 4 years undergrad, 3 years grad. I got my degree. I was doing what I aimed to do, and I didn't want to leave it. So that wasn't my goal. But I did like the idea of being able to help people, whether or not, it was turning into something bigger or not. It gave me the opportunity to do something outside of an education field. It tapped into a whole different world for me. So one of the things that I was very fearful with when I first started it was the sharing on social media. mainly for the simple fact of what I did for a living. As a psychologist in education, I didn't need people finding me on Facebook, and you hear stories about, you know, people posting pictures in a bikini and all of a sudden that teacher is like fired because they're on a beach in a bikini, you know? So I don't want to post about my life, or being the college professor that I walk into the class and they're like, oh, hey, I saw you on Facebook. That wasn't what I was aiming for. So I was super hesitant, and, you know, it takes a little while to get over that. But what I found is more and more, and Kelly said this too, the positive response from people outweighs the negative. I still remember going to my high school reunion and people that I haven't seen in 20 years who I really would have thought would be the ones rolling their eyes and laughing at me. Like, I had one friend introduce me to his wife and he's like, oh my God, you have to follow her on Facebook. She's amazing. The inspiration. I was just like, oh my God. Like, it's a whole different thing to when you don't expect it. So that is a common misconception, is that judgment. So I gained everything. I mean, it really went from a what do I have to lose to I've gained so much that's made it worthwhile. Not only have I lost about 40 pounds, maybe more, maybe less. I stick with the 40 because I go up and down. But I had one preemie, my son, he was born 29 weeks, and I do attribute lasting another 5 weeks to the healthy lifestyle that I had developed in between my first and my second, because my daughter was born at 34 weeks. I am a completely different person in terms of my confidence level. Even to this day, I continue to change in how I look at myself and the world and life and lifestyle and healthy habits. And, you know, it just makes me feel good to help other people, and then to be like, hey, I'm getting a couple extra bucks here or there. This is nice. And considering, if you guys know me, some of you follow me, I posted pictures yesterday. My husband showed all the packages on my table, and I shop. So this supports my habit a lot. But seriously, you don't need to be looking to build a whole different business, guys. You don't have to look and have like a back against the wall, like, oh my God, I need something to get me out. If you do, great, that will drive you. But if you're just looking for something for community, for your own health, accountability, extra money, traveling, a bond with other people, you know what? That's what this can give you. It doesn't have to be just the monetary thing. It could be so much more. So that was a little more long-winded, sorry.
You guys want to hear me talk too? All right. So in an effort to keep this short and sweet, I'm going to try and take my long-winded answer and make it a very short-winded answer. I'm Katie. I've been coaching for over 5 years, and similar to Steph, I love my job. I'm a chiropractor, and I am full-time in a veterans hospital, and I love my patients. So I didn't necessarily think I needed to do coaching. And so I had been following a friend of mine from undergrad who started getting amazing results, and she seemed extremely happy. And she was postpartum and lost all of her weight, like crazy results. So I was like, what is she doing? Well, she started chatting me up and just getting into all of the things in my life that maybe I just didn't have time for. Like, am I working out? Am I doing anything I enjoy? Am I eating healthy? And I'm like, I would love to do all of those things. Like, how do you have time to do any of that? And I was in a job where I was working basically, you know, away from the house from 7 in the morning until after 7 at night, and really had no time to do any of that. And then when I was in the office, I was treating patients. I was eating leftover bagels for lunch, and probably breakfast too. And then on my way home, I would swing through, a lot of times if we weren't going out to eat for dinner, Wendy's, and I would choose the chicken sandwich because that was the healthier option, obviously. Because I enjoy healthy eating, I like vegetables and all of that. So I needed to choose the healthy option.
So when I couldn't get out of the office, I was really just looking and interested in this shake that she was offering and had been drinking, and I saw in all of her pictures, because I figured that would be a healthy option if I couldn't get out of the office. And I was like, okay, I'm going to look into this. I don't just want some garbage shake. I want quality ingredients. If I'm drinking it, I want to know what I'm putting into my body, because, Wendy's is just really reputable. But so I started looking into this shake, and then she started talking about the workouts and how I could get this whole package deal and do it all at once. And the workouts are super short, and I might as well just do those two. And I was like, yeah, sounds great. And then I started looking into some other shake. Well, long story short, I obviously went with the challenge pack, which got me started. And within probably the first 12 of my 21 days, my energy went through the roof, whereas I was previously falling asleep at my desk as I was doing notes at lunchtime, because I had like that afternoon slump of the bagel carb overload that I was having, and just falling asleep. No energy, no drive. And then my confidence had tanked, like all the things that Steph said, like my confidence grew, all of that, which we can go into another time. But the results that I got from just the first 21 days, I can literally say changed my life. It changed my relationships with my fiance. It changed my relationships with my patients. The exercises that we do are for everybody. I will use a lot of those moves that with my patients. I will tell them modifications to do for injuries that I learned on my Beachbody workouts. So not ashamed to say it. So it really is for everybody. And for me, the business was just an added bonus. It just made sense. And that's really for everybody too. You can work it into a busy schedule. You can work it into a full-time job. You can really make out of it whatever you want to make it. Can't hear you, Dana.
Can somebody tell me if Ray is on? Because I know she had phone issues. She's not. Okay. She didn't make.
Right. Hi, everybody. My name is Maggie, obviously, and I have been a coach for a little over 2 years, I guess, coming up on 2.5 years. And I live in Northern Kentucky near Cincinnati. And all of these people on here, I didn't know from high school or dancing or anything. It was like a random internet connection that I just happened upon. Well, it just worked out for the best, because this has been the absolute best thing that could have ever happened to me. Besides, of course, the birth of my daughter and getting married to my husband. So a little bit of background about me. I have type 1 diabetes, just like Kelly. I've had type 1 since I was 9. I will be 39 next year, so coming up on 30 years. And for many of those years, I was young and stupid, and I didn't think that anything bad would ever happen to me, and I didn't really take care of my health. Fast forward to maybe about 6 years ago, I started getting some diabetes complications. And at the same time, I was also pregnant with my daughter. When I gave birth to my daughter, I could not see out of my right eye because of the retinopathy. And the whole time, the last 4 weeks of my pregnancy was just a real eye opener. Like, I needed to do something for me. And I vowed to myself after having the baby that I was going to become my best, healthiest self. That included finding something to do at home, because going to the gym with a newborn as a stay-at-home mom, I don't know if I mentioned that or not, I'm a stay-at-home mom, was not happening. So I had posted on my Facebook page about I need some sort of a physical challenge. I need something. And Kelly had messaged me, said, hey, why don't you check out my group? And literally, I started talking to Kelly. I said, yes, this is awesome. I want to do it. Oh my gosh. And then she brought up Shakeology, and I was like, ooh, no, I'm just going to do the fitness part, which I signed up for just the fitness part. And then I thought about it because we had talked about the coaching opportunity. And I thought about it, and something deep inside was just like, Maggie, do it. Just try it. Just do it. And that's the myth that I kind of wanted to talk about is, you know, when I first started, I wanted nothing to do with Shakeology. And I think probably a lot of people feel the same way. Maybe not. That's just my own experience. But now it has become such an incredible part of my journey, my life, my day, my business. I love Shakeology for so many reasons. It is a meal a day that I don't have to think about. Just like Katie was saying, the energy that you get from it. Um, Super quality ingredients. I do have a dietetics degree that I'm not using except for, doing this, which brings me to another point. The nutrition plans are incredible. And all you have to do is, know a little bit about them and present them. You don't have to have a dietetics degree. You don't have to be a personal trainer. We will teach you everything you need to know about Beachbody and this opportunity and what it has given me in my life as a stay-at-home mom. It has given me the ability to help other people to have more of a purpose in my life than just laundry and dishes and cleaning the house. And when I first started 2.5 years ago, this was something just for me, for my own health. But I guess about 2 years ago in November, Kelly and I started the Type 1 Dream Team. And now we have 150 Type 1 diabetics. And we are, our entire group, our coaching group, our Type 1 group, we are just an awesome, incredible family. So I've gained so much from this. I could go on and on, but I'm just going to leave it at that. And I hope to see you guys on our team.
Okay, my turn. I'm Savannah, not Brandon, as my name on this says, because I forgot to change my name for my husband. I, unlike some of the other people that you've heard from, have only been doing this for just a few months. It's been a little longer than 2 months now. It's been, I guess, almost 4. I rejoined Beachbody in April. I had pretty much been at just like a super low for a while, and I had been super creeping on Dana for quite a while. We had had a couple of conversations that ended as me kind of ghosting her pretty much. I actually also talked to Stephanie a couple of times. And then pretty much what made me pull the trigger on it was the pandemic. I am a teacher, a daycare teacher, but I also have a first grader and a preschooler. And so at the time, it was a scary time, and we had made the decision to stay home. And we were home for about a month and a half before I decided, okay, this is going to get really bad if I don't start doing something for me. And this, I had already had success with Beachbody back in 2015 after I had my older son. So I knew that the products worked. It was just a matter of pulling the trigger, I guess. And I was very adamant once I did pull the trigger that I wanted absolutely nothing to do with coaching. Thankfully, Dana did not give up on me and kept putting the offer out there. I mean, I was having insane success. Like I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and sometimes that can really affect a woman's ability to lose weight. And I tried everything before hopping back on the Beachbody bandwagon because I had failed when I fell off previously. But anyways, as far as coaching goes, I had every excuse in the book. I was a full-time teacher. I was a full-time mom. I have 2 busy boys. not enough time in the day. I have no social media following. And I just basically didn't know how. And I think once I finally said yes, I very quickly realized that this was definitely the team for me. And that I really just jived pretty quickly with many of the women on this team. Coaching gave me the ultimate accountability, which is selfishly the reason that I went into it in the first place. Of course, I want to help other people. And of course, I want to give the opportunity that I've been given to other women. But at the end of the day, I don't even know that I would have made it this far if I hadn't have finally said yes to coaching. And then I know that a couple of the other stories that you've heard have said that the income wasn't really a factor for them, but the opposite is true for me. The income does play a role for me. And originally it was just to earn enough money to be able to pay for my own Shakeology. And then I fell in love with Energize. So then it was, now I need to make enough money to cover my Energize and my Recover, and the beach bars and all the other stuff that I absolutely have fallen in love with. And it's become even more than that for me. It's being able to afford birthday presents for my children, and replacing my own wardrobe after losing 55 pounds in the last 6 months. Just all of those little things that totally add up, and I just can't say enough about this opportunity.
All right, I think nobody else is sharing tonight, so I'm going to dive in a little bit more. I hope that you feel as inspired by everyone's stories as I do, because I have heard everyone's story like a million times, but I still get really emotional when I hear them, because I think I just always have this idea that those of you that are here tonight listening, the potential that this could have in your life, just with your health, your wellness, the community, the opportunity, and what it could do for you and your family. It's just amazing to think about. So you might be wondering a little more of the logistics of how the business actually works. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. So first, I need to make sure that I let you know that Team Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income with the opportunity. Each coach's income depends on their efforts, diligence, and skill. So basically, this business is what you make it. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not something you join and you make a ton of money overnight. It is something that you really do have to, first and foremost, be on your own journey. You know, that is one of our top priorities, is to be a product of the product, like all of the women you've heard from tonight. Drinking Shakeology, following a meal plan, showing up for a fitness program, and sharing the process of getting those physical, mental, emotional results, and how it really impacts your life and your health and your confidence. And so in terms of earning potential, and I keep seeing the chat box pop up, but we'll get to the questions at the end. So the first way that we earn income as coaches is that we earn a 25% commission on anything that people order. So you heard a couple of the girls reference a challenge pack, which is a very popular option for people to start with. It includes either Shakeology or our performance line, along with a Beachbody On Demand membership for the year. So it gives you access to every type of workout, from yoga to boxing to weightlifting to pretty much anything you could possibly imagine finding at a gym or at a boutique type gym with fitness classes. Right at your fingertips, that you can stream in your living room to get the most amazing, insane results you've ever gotten in 30 minutes in your life, right? And that comes bundled as what we call a challenge pack. So that's one of the most popular options. But you make a 25% commission anytime someone signs up with a package like that, or they buy like what Savannah was referencing, of like beach bars or Energize or any of, we have an incredible product line with so many different things. We have an amazing beauty collagen. We have greens if you're somebody that struggles to get your veggies in. But that is the first way, and it's the most common way you're earning income as a new coach is commissions. So as you start to grow your business and as you start to say, you know, you help a couple of your girlfriends, maybe there's a mom at your, you know, kid's school that wants to get fit and healthy and noticed, you know, the confidence you've gained and how fit you've gotten, and they decide to join you. And as you start to grow a base of customers and coaches, if you're having people that are joining you for the business opportunity, you are essentially rewarded for that by our company. And that is where residual income comes from in that team cycle bonus. So it's probably not really going to make a ton of sense to you, but it's volume based. And if you want to know specifics, you can go read about our actual compensation plan. But the basics of this business is you are successful when you are sharing and serving other people. That is the beauty of coaching. You cannot be successful if you are not truly passionate about helping other people, whether that is helping them get health and fitness results or that is helping them learn to build a business alongside you as you build yours, right? The more that you serve people, the more successful that you get. That's kind of it in a nutshell. The next earning opportunity is our company rewards us. So as you grow a team and an organization, if you so choose to go all in with the business like I did, our company rewards us with a matching bonus. So a 6% matching bonus. This is not what people commonly think, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. There is no money taken from the people below you. You have the opportunity to out-earn the people that are above you. There is no income taken from the people you are helping or coaching. It is given to us. It is rewarded to us from our company for our hard work and dedication of serving and coaching people. As you continue to grow in the business, there are certain ranks that you can get to within the company where you open the door to quarterly bonuses. They are pretty significant bonuses, but that is something where you really have to start growing a business where you are not only sharing health and fitness, but you are sharing this with other women that want to learn how to have an opportunity like this for themselves and their families. So there are a lot of opportunities to earn income within this business, but something that is not mentioned is that we also have the opportunity to earn trips. We also have the opportunity to earn fun monthly prizes. Within our team, we actually do fun little giveaways here and there for, team decal cups and things like that, just to keep it fun. But the total income potential of this business, it is really up to you and what you decide to do with it and the work you are willing to put into it. So if you come into this as a hobby and you just want to pay for your own product, that's possible. If you say, like Kelly, would like to go on to match the income that you are making in your career, that is possible. Or if you are like me and you want to go all in and you want time and financial freedom, that is possible as well. We mentor you based on what you decide you want to do in the business, but just know it does take work. It does take dedication. It does take learning to really fail forward and showing up consistently. So within our company, and I know you probably want to chime in on this, Kelly, because you love talking about trips. If you want to take this one, you could take it.
Awesome. I love this part, guys, because if you know me or see my things, my family is always referred to as like the go, go, go family. Like we like to go and we definitely like to travel, and my kids love just seeing everywhere. So one of the benefits that I found is clearly with nursing, I don't even get to go to the bathroom half the time. So that's the extent of my travel. I don't really get to do a whole lot. So to get rewarded for something that I already love doing is pretty amazing. So what happens with Beachbody is each year people can earn trips to go what's called the Success Club trips. This doesn't take you doing crazy numbers to get the invitation, but it does take showing up. So these trips can be, since I've coached, I've been invited to go to the Dominican twice, Mexico twice, And they had one of the biggest cruise ships in the world that was just safe for Beachbody coaches. And the trainers came on, we worked out, all food and drink are included. Massage times were included for me and my husband. He really liked that. And basically we got to do like just unlimited kind of activities. So that's something that is given to you, or earned for you and someone else to go with you. And you have the option to be able to bring your children or other family members for just a small additional cost. So they're pretty amazing trips. Like my husband travels for work, and when he went on this, he basically said to me, like, I have not seen this extent of like what they do for any place that I've been. So he was very impressed. We also have the opportunity every year. Beachbody has our annual Coach Summit. It's basically the biggest coaches event of the year. Probably about 25,000 plus coaches attend from all over. We are now in US, UK, Canada, and France. So it keeps expanding, which is wonderful. Since I've been a coach, I've been to New Orleans, been to India a couple of times. This July, we're going to St. Louis. And basically you learn from the top of the top coaches to help grow your business. So you're in information sessions to kind of learn how to grow your business. You're working out with some of the top trainers, Shanti, Tony Horton, Autumn, the whole shebang. We wake up in the morning, one of the final days, and as the sun's rising, we close the streets out in that town, and there's 25,000 coaches working out with every single Beachbody coach as the sun's rising. And there's something, as crazy as it sounds, of getting up that early to do it, it is the biggest high, I think, any of us that have been there can say, it's just incredible. I can't even speak to it unless you're there. But it's a wonderful event. It's really the time that a lot of us can actually meet for the first time. So it's a fun time for all of us as a team to come together, get to know each other, and just learn and have a blast. We do also get to have retreats. We've had a couple of retreats in Florida that are hosted by some of the coaches, and leaders within our team get invited, which is great. As you are kind of moving up and you're wanting to grow your business, you get to go to these retreats where you get to learn from other like great speakers within the organization, once again, to help you. And I've never been in an occupation that literally everyone around you, even people that are doing the same thing, are really trying to help you grow and want to see you succeed. And I think that that's what these retreats are all about, is really just learning and once again coming together. So travel is definitely an option for you if you decide it's something that you want to be able to do.
I just have to chime on to that also, that like I said at the beginning of this business, I was a newly single mom, and I had loved to travel prior to having my son. But once I became a single mom and a sole provider, I basically just wrote off that travel would never be a possibility. And this business has given me the opportunity to travel all over the place, to so many different places I never would have had the opportunity to go to otherwise. So that is just an incredible opportunity that comes with coaching that I didn't even know came with coaching when I started. So we want to make sure, because you might be thinking like what Savannah said of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a social media following. I've never posted anything on social media. I'm terrified to share a transformation photo. I'm not at my goal weight yet. Like, how would I actually do this? Right. We have a top team and we have trainings for everything. So not only do we have a private team pages. So we have a team page that we add you to. We welcome you to the team page. Like we said, we're a very tight knit community. So everybody's gonna, welcome you and want to get to know you. But we have weekly team calls on various topics every single Wednesday night. So it might be about branding. It might be about social media. It might be about mindset. We talk a lot about mindset and personal development, because we know it to have changed our lives so much. Your mindset, your life is really only as good as the quality of your mindset, right? And the more that you want to grow and step out of your comfort zone and gain confidence and master that negative inner self-talk and do the things you really want to do in your life, we focus a lot on personal growth. So depending on the week, We have guest speakers. We have different topics and support on those calls. We also have corporate support. So every single week we have a training that is done by top coaches in the network, giving you incredible tips for how to have success in your business, whether it is tips on time management when you're working full time, or it is tips of how to connect with women that are just like you, that you want to be serving and helping. And then we also have mentorship. So we have a new coach pod that you get put in so that you're not alone figuring this all out. You're put in it with a bunch of other new coaches. So you really gain that sense of community and support, where people are cheering you on, you know, commenting on the things that you're sharing, celebrating you when you have wins. But we also have a training that literally takes you through step by step the beginning processes of starting your business and how to do all of the things that you don't know how to do. So this is not something where you sign up and you have to figure it out alone. We are with you every step of the way. But as for showing up, that has to be something that you are willing and coachable to do. So I would love if you guys would take a moment and actually think, because I don't know if you can relate to this, but when I came into this business, I had never had someone ask me what my vision for my life was, ever. I had never thought about that before. I was not like a daydreamer or a, you know, goal setter by any means. And so when somebody said, what's your vision for your life? Where do you want to be a year from now or 5 years from now? Like, how do you spend your time? What are you doing for work? Like, what is the community of friends that you're surrounded by? What are the opportunities that you're able to give to your family? You know, what does your health look like? And for a lot of people, it's thinking about, with the way that you are currently living now, is that going to be able to get you to that ideal or those dreams that you have for your life? And when I started coaching, the vision and the dream that I had for the life that I wanted to create for my son as a single parent was not going to be possible with what I, you know, had the ability to do at the time. So really, like, let go of all that negativity and the self-doubts and the you could never do that type stuff, and really allow yourself to think about what your ideal life would look like, because this opportunity can be the vehicle to help you get there. So we are going to open this up. I'm going to stop the screen share. And if anyone has questions, we're going to be happy to answer those for you. Or if you have any comments or questions for any of the coaches who spoke tonight, we'd love to hear them. I'm just going to catch up on the chat.
So Dana, while you're looking at that, I thought I would just quickly pop in really quick and just touch briefly on like the time commitment and being able to balance this when you're working or a mom or living life. So because yes, you hear over and over, people are saying, you know, this is a time commitment. You have to put in work, you have to put in work, you have to put in work. And yes, you do, but this business is also what you make of it. So it can grow as fast as you want it to grow or as slow as you want it to grow. And you kind of do it around what you want and your time. So I have always worked full-time doing this. I have always balanced this along with working full-time and 2 part-time jobs, and then having kids and kids activities. And so you learn how to work in pockets and find the time to do it for you. I don't want you to sit here and listen to everybody and hear them saying, you know, oh, I'm putting in all this work, and you're going, oh my God, I can't do this because there is no way I can do it. I don't have time. I work, I have kids. Because if it's something that you want to do, you will be able to find the time to do it. Even if it's 20 minutes a day, you can build something from 20 minutes. I'm not saying overnight it's going to be a multi-million-dollar business, but from 20 minutes a day, you are able to start something. Everybody starts with cookie crumbs and builds it up. And that's just, I just wanted to put that out there.
100%. And we're able to, like we said, you know, based on what you would really want to do, help you map out where you can kind of build those pockets of time in. But more importantly, what you should be doing with those pockets of time. Because let's be real, sitting down and just scrolling your social media is not going to be what gets you there. So we help you understand those most important actions to take to really start seeing growth in your business. I'm just going to check the comments again because I see things popping up. Yeah, Robin is a great example of that. Robin wakes up and works out super early before she goes to work. And she said it helps to map out your weekly schedule for sure. That's helped me find when I do have time during my busy days. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions or fears that are coming up for you? Like if you were to say like, heck yeah, I want to do this right now, like what comes up for you? We want to know what that thought and fear is because we want to talk about it. Go for it, Mary.
Yeah, well, I could see myself doing it. So I bought the $99 package and I just love it. And my husband did Lift 4 3 times over the COVID time and lost 30 pounds. So
Wow.
he loves it too. I never thought about becoming a coach though, but I have so many diabetic friends. I'm a type 1 myself for 45 years. And I was always hoping there must be a type 1 diabetic group out there. And there's Kelly. She came to me. It's so great. The thing is, I really do not want to have, and I think I heard a lot of you say this too when you started, to be on Facebook all the time. I don't want that. I don't want to be a Beachbody personality. You know, I am so old school, but I don't think I'm old fashioned. I don't know. It's just not my thing. I can't see myself doing it. I don't really want to do that. But I mean, how long has Beachbody been around? Before the internet, or I don't know. 80s, 90s. So there has to be other ways of inviting people in, and really it comes from the heart. And I've been into personal development really for about 30 years, and I'm what's called an infinite possibilities coach. I help people get by their struggles in anything, in their work, you know, physicality, financial. So I'm all behind what Beachbody does and how they speak, how all of you speak, and how you lift each other up. Always, always, always. And it's great. I just don't want to be on TV.
Here's my thought for you on this is that you get to decide how you want to share on social media, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to fit into a box of a certain personality. Like we talk a lot about being authentic and talking the way that you talk and being who you are. Like just because you become a Beachbody coach and you do the same workouts and do all the same things, we're not like saying put you in a box and this is what you have to post every day. So if you know, are passionate about helping people break through limitations and things like that, those could be the things you share about. And then you just tie in how home workouts are helping you, you know, keep the weight off, or how they helped your husband through COVID, or those kinds of things. It's not necessarily that you need to be talking about Beachbody all the time. And I would think too, you also might be somebody that would be great at building your business more face-to-face or one-on-one connections, because you seem very confident in what you're talking about. And so you can totally connect with people or host fit clubs. You know, those are things that people do where they host, you know, and have 10 people come over to their house and do a workout together and try Shakeology, and you show them, you know, cook a meal or something like that. Obviously COVID restrictions, but you know, you could make the business your own. You don't have to build it the same way that everybody else does. Everybody builds their business very differently. And it sounds like you have a lot of skills that you could bring to the table to really make it your own.
Yeah. I do have another question about Shakeology, and I heard a lot of you say this too. And I don't know if I'm frightened, but I'm not ready to to do that because of my type 1, and I do have stage 3 kidney disease, and I'm terrified of it. I guess I am, you know. Isn't that hard on your kidneys? It's not fresh, you know.
No, it's not. I mean, let me ask you this: kidney wise, do you have plain Greek yogurt?
No, I don't. I don't do any milk. No.
No, because you're dairy.
I choose to be dairy free.
The only thing I say that is the protein actually, and that's where there's like a really big misconception. The protein in Shakeology is not actually crazy high. It's the same.
Yeah, I do know that, and now I'm on nutrition stuff like all the time. It's terrible. I go down, you know, those rabbit holes on the internet learning about this stuff. And I did just become a diabetes. I'm able to be a coach. I'm not ready to start that business yet, but we have a huge Native American population. I'm very close to Niagara Falls. There's a lot of Native American Indian population here. I so desperately want to help them because you probably know diabetes is a big deal in that community. But where was I going with that? So I'm always looking at the nutrition of things, and I know I would have to bolus, and everybody who is on insulin probably boluses for your Shakeology.
Yep.
It's just that it seems like there's chemicals in it.
Nope. There's no chemicals in it, actually. It's all probiotics, just prebiotics, digestive enzymes, fiber, adaptogens. It's actually, because I'm like I don't have anything diet. Me personally, I'm super big, and I'm like crazy that I won't let my kids have anything like that.
Yeah, same here.
Me personally, nothing wrong with it. And before I started, I actually brought it to my endo at Joslin because I was like, oh my gosh, like, can I do this? And I'd had like a million protein shakes in the past, but I never saw any like benefit from them other than they just tasted good, but they never like did anything for me. But that's where I started to see something very different, as I actually felt different with Shakeology. And I was someone that actually didn't like Shakeology when I first started. Like, I really didn't like it. I had to figure out like what I liked for flavor and like how I like to mix it. And now it's just a staple, actually, for me and my husband and my son. Like, my son drinks it. And I love it because it's completely all natural. And the endo was like, there's nothing in here. She was like, actually, don't take a multivitamin. That's the only thing I would say, is because it's like a really powerful multivitamin. And so I'm like, okay. So I don't pay for my multivitamins anymore because I'm all done. I just have my Shakeology each day. And then same with my primary care. You know, they were like, other than a vitamin D, I'm not going to say that, you know, vitamin D, sometimes you have to do a little larger sum. Same with my primary care, because it was really big for me that it was okay. And of course the diabetes side of just making sure nothing was taxing, but it's the protein wise, it's not a protein shake. And that's why I do tell people, so many people are misguided on needing protein. I'm like, it's actually really taxing for your kidneys. And it's not actually, we aren't a protein deficient society. We have a boatload of protein in our diet. We are a very big nutrient deficient society. We don't get the right nutrients in our body. And that's half why there's so many of the deficiencies that we have. So that's why I'm actually happy with the Shakeology, because it kind of fills that gap that a lot of times people are truly missing. But I've had people on our type 1 team that have had like stage 3 kidney disease, and they were completely fine. They've never had anything. All their tests, nothing changed. And they said, it was great. So, obviously people do what they're comfortable with. But it's very different than what like a typical protein shake would be, because it's not really falling in that category. That's kind of misguided.
And I am hopeful that I can reverse that. I know that people do reverse their kidney disease. So I'm hopeful, I'm on this, I don't want to talk about diabetes if not everybody is on that same bandwagon, but I'm on a CGM. I just got an Apple Watch, first time. My husband got that for me, so I can see my blood sugar all the time.
Yeah. Well, I can talk to you outside, because one of the girls that does have it on the side, the one that had it, I remember her saying that she actually saw like better results with a lot of her things from it. So I'll have to see if I can kind of pair you guys up to kind of
And really the most important thing is tomorrow I'll be on one of the workouts too. So I really need to get
Just get moving with
show
that.
up for myself. So
Yep.
I'm so
That's
happy
nice
to meet
that you
everybody.
have a job that makes you do that.
Yeah.
Mary, I would just say too, I'm a big rabbit holer also. Like I'm probably the biggest nerd you'll ever meet about nutrition. And I would say if you're going to go down a rabbit hole, go down a rabbit hole about the ingredients that are in Shakeology. Because if you truly understand how it's formulated and where it's sourced from and the quality of the ingredients and what the ingredients do for your body, then you might have less fear around it, because I also have health issues. So I'm a big researcher on the ingredients of anything that I put in my body.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Okay, so someone said something like you're afraid to sound like you're just selling something. And Stephanie gave good advice. You're not pushing anyone. You're sharing your story. You're sharing your results. Why is it any different than telling your friend about a new wine that you found and liked? And Jess said, it's like that friend from high school that pops up and says, hey, I'm selling earrings. You should buy some. And it gets awkward. So this is what we always say. And this is why we are very passionate, like we said, about sharing our transformations, whether that is physical, mental, emotional. You know, like I personally have struggled with anxiety and depression since I was 13 years old. I talk about mental health and how this has impacted my mental wellness. I have had 12 hip surgeries. I talk about how this finally gave me a way to get fit because it has modifications so that I could work my way up in strength. You know, a lot of us talk about how the nutrition plans have changed things for us, right? So if this is not something where we are teaching you to pop up in people's inbox with a hey girl message with a link to go buy something, right? Because the reality is, if that's how you try to build a business, it's never going to work for you. You're never going to be successful doing that, because everyone's going to block you and delete you and run away from you, right? We teach you truly how to build relationships and connect with people. And that's where that part of you have to really, have your own experience with this, where you have that belief in what we do and that belief in what we offer and the community that people become a part of and the tools that they're using, right? And then it's a totally different experience, because when you are out there, you're just sharing it. You're not hounding people to buy something or try your shake or, you know, shoving anything down anybody's throats. You are genuinely sharing your story and your experience and how it has impacted you. And then you are inviting other women to join you that might be looking for those same things, right? Like when I connected with Stephanie, for example, we had met in a mom group and she and I started talking because she saw me post about fitness all the time. And Stephanie, I'm pretty sure she actually went and bought 21 Day Fix off Amazon because she didn't trust me. And then she realized she needed me because she needed a community and support.
It took about 4.5 years before I fessed up to her that my husband didn't buy it for me as a present and that I bought it on Amazon because I didn't want this chick telling me what I needed to do. I'm just saying.
See, but she came around and she has stuck with me now for like what? So, you know, almost 6 years. We've been the closest of friends now. So like, this really is about learning how to connect with women that are just like you and being more interested in learning about them than you are talking about you and this is what I've achieved and this is what's happened for me. Like, sure, people can connect to your story, but this is where you're really wanting to add value, you know, sharing nutrition tips, sharing how you stay motivated, sharing how you get up at 5 a.m. to get your workouts in a busy schedule, like sharing how this helps your sanity and your patience levels as a busy mom that's homeschooling right now, you know, like sharing the real deal of how this impacts your life and then encouraging other people to join you on that journey. Instead of saying like, hey, look at me and look what I'm doing. It's like hey, I can help you do this too, right? And it's a total different thing. And my thought is, if you don't want to be that person that shows up in people's inbox saying, hey girl, like, will you buy something? Don't be that person, right? It's that simple. You get to decide how to build your business in a way that is authentic and genuine for you. And then somebody said, I just don't have a story to tell yet. I feel like a lot of people feel this way, but it's something like your story doesn't necessarily start the day that you start Beachbody, right? Your story is all of the things that have made you who you are up until this point. Like a lot of the things that I share in my coaching business are things that I have gone through out, throughout the process of my life, struggling with body image, struggling with disordered eating, struggling with injury, chronic pain, all of this stuff, that Beachbody then gave me the tools and the support and the nutrition plans and the fitness and the personal development and the business opportunity and all of those things to truly transform. And so I think it's more about doing exercises to kind of dig deep on who you are, and why you really started this journey. Like, what were you struggling with that you said yes to Beachbody for? Do you have specific reasons that you said yes to it? And then working to talk more about those things and kind of developing it as you go. But the way that you share changes as you go, and so does your story also. So I wouldn't stress too much about that. Does anybody else have any other questions? We know it's getting late. We try not to keep you longer than an hour.
What if you're super terrible at the exercises? Because I really am. I'm really, really slow. And I honestly, when I started, I was literally crying because I couldn't go that fast. I did the 21. Everybody starts with the 21-day fix, I think. I was so, thank you, Kat. I love you, Kat. But I couldn't even keep up with Kat. And I still can't keep up with them. Oh, it's so frustrating for me. I just don't have those fast twitch muscles. I mean, it could be different neuropathies. I don't know. I'm just not. And I used to run marathons, not quickly, but my husband and I used to be marathon runners too. So I'm not unfit, but I just can't keep up. And I'm afraid, if I do what everybody else is doing, showing your beautiful workouts, people are going to be like, oh, I don't want any of that.
No, because it's so real and relatable. Like my whole first, 6 months of my journey, I modified literally everything, having had 12 hip surgeries. Like, no, the cool thing is that you are moving and you are doing something, and every single day that you show up, you are making progress and getting stronger, and your body is developing muscle memory so that you get better at the moves. And like, who cares what other people think of that? Like, I mean, you really think that, like, I think we overthink what people judge us for all the time, whereas a lot of people from the outside looking in are probably super inspired with what you've shared that you're going through, that you show up and are doing something at all. So it's,
yeah,
me, it's more of a flip of a mindset perspective, and also just embracing the journey, because it's not about doing it perfectly. It's about showing up.
There's a lot of yous out there, and there's a lot of yous out there. There's a lot of every one of yous out there, and
Yep.
You probably connected to your coach or the person that you follow because of the fact that they're just real and it's relatable. And that's what people want to see. We don't want to see these perfect, yeah, it'd be great, but we're not looking to be these perfect hard bodies that everything is perfect like infomercials. Like, that's just not, that's not something, at least, that makes me want to work for it. Like, I want to see the mom that's like exhausted trying to show up and like work out, and like half the time like a hot mess, and still plugging away and doing her thing. And that's who's going to, relate to me. And there's different people that are going to relate to different people. And it's just being you. That it goes back to, I'm not selling anyone anything. I'm sharing what works for me. And if you want to join me, like, awesome. Like, I would love to have you a part of it. And just being you, because no one needs fake stuff out there.
And honestly, I've only been doing this since July, and I fessed up and said that something was hard. And the fact that I held back and didn't say anything, once I did, everyone's like, oh yeah, like, I'm not doing well either. And like, once you say that you're struggling, you actually get more help than what you're able to give yourself.
Yeah.
So like, that's another thing too, is like, that's the part I love most about this so far, is that like, there are days, especially COVID, where I'm like, I don't want to do it. And then I do it because all these chicks are doing it, and they all do it. And we're all sweaty and disgusting. And like, what keeps me going is that like, and I work out in just my sports bra. No one sees me, but like, that also motivates me too, because like, no one can see me, but like, I feel good when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So you have to post the sweaty selfie if you don't want to, because like, what if you don't want to post it, but posting it also is fun too.
I have a question. So I feel like I've dove in, I've put together a bunch of stuff. I found it interesting that I started to engage with people, but I have a hard, I think I need like a little bit more of understanding of how I can turn interest into actual sale. Like how, I just don't know what to offer. I mean, I do know what to offer, but I don't know what to offer. There's so many channels,
Yes.
there's so many like links and all this other stuff, and I'm just kind of like,
Yep.
I'm getting a little lost, you know, even just finding the Zoom tonight, I was like, oh, where is it? But like, I'm seeing that like people are interested in, you know, they're like, oh my God, way to go, this and the other. But I feel like I don't fully understand what, not fully understand like what I'm selling, but how to move it from interest to
suggest what people are
actual,
really
you know, a sell. Like
Yeah.
for example, like Dana, I put together the form, have my own little form now, has like questions and this and the other, but no one's given any responses. And then so now I'm just like, okay, so, and I even invited a couple of people to this, and so I'm kind of like, I think I just need a little bit more assistance. And Kelly, I sent you a Slack or a message privately because I heard you're in Boston as well. So I was just basically asking, I was like, since you're on my time zone and in my hood, I was like, maybe I could just like get like a one-on-one with you if that's okay. Cause like I see it's very valuable, and I'm seeing even my story is starting to translate, but I don't even like when I go on to the BOD, I'm finding, I don't know, do I only have access to one class? I was thinking about trying bar and that's not working. So I'm like, until I fully understand what the hell I'm doing, I don't want to like, I mean, I wouldn't mind having my own group of people to do it with, which easily people will follow, but I just want to master it a little bit more.
If you
Sorry, that
want,
was
we can
diarrhea.
hop on the phone tomorrow and have a one-on-one call. For the people that are like, what's happening right now, Stephanie is a new coach on the team, and she is learning how to have conversations. So this is a good teachable lesson for all of you in case you decide to join the opportunity. But I personally have a form that I have people fill out when they are interested in learning about working with me for fitness nutrition, because I want to know more in depth about where people are at, where they're, you know, how are their energy levels, how is their mood, how's their digestion, do they struggle with emotional eating, you know, do they feel like they would do better with freedom around food, or would they do better with structure, you know, do they have any limitations with injury, what are they wanting to achieve, because then what we learn to do as coaches is we learn to come up with a custom suggestion of what is the best fit for that person and what the goals they are that they want to achieve, because seeing goals is so different and unique to every person. It is not going to be the same recommendation every single time. So that is a learning curve when you are a new coach, is to really learn the different programs and products and nutrition plans that we do have to offer, so that you start to get to feel more confident in being able to respond to people about what you think is the best suggestion for them. And then learning how to explain the pricing of that to that person once you have suggested why you think they need what they need and what. But Stephanie, we can have another talk. We can have a talk about that tomorrow. If you're around, I'd be happy to hop on the phone.
Yeah, so sorry. It was just like people are messaging me like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And I'm pausing on responding because I'm like, "Oh."
I have a Google Doc I can send you actually right after the call that may help you with that. So
sorry, ladies. Okay,
that's perfect. No, I think that was a good teaching opportunity, because that is a learning curve when you are a new coach, is learning how to best help people where they're at with what they need, because it's not a one size fits all solution. So that was a perfect question. All right. Well, since it is getting late, we have kept you way longer than we intended to. Thank you all for hopping on and hearing more about our team and our stories and our opportunity tonight. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to the coach that added you. If you are ready to run and dive in, our team has some really big goals for the end of the year. So you are diving in at a time where we are running to make a huge impact on people, because let's be real, the world needs a whole lot of health and happiness and positivity right now. And we are ready to welcome you open arms and teach and guide you and have you be a part of our team if you so choose it's for you. So thanks for hopping on, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dana. Thanks, Kelly. Bye, everybody.
Bye.